Were you surprised the Miami Dolphins, and you know the city well, are you surprised Dan Campbell came in and just for a game changed everything?
Okay, two points here. Let's look at this thing. Now, the thing I'm going to give Dan credit for, and I remember trying to defend Dan when he was a player. I mean, he was a tough guy. He is a tough guy. But most coaches that take over for other coaches, okay, whatever it was, 4, 5, 6 games into the season, my 5th year, I walk away from the Dolphins. There were some real philosophy problems that I was having with ownership, and it's a long story. Okay. What happens is the guy takes over. They say, oh, we don't want the job. Coach, we're behind you. Well, it takes about a week, and then generally what happens, and this is on the college level, you watch it, or the NFL level, the interim coach, he wants to get the support of the players. So he generally shortens practices, makes things easier, take your helmets off, give them more water, whatever. No, seriously, whatever you got to do to make the players happy.
And they rally around the coach and play better.
Because in the back of his mind, whether they play better or not, he hopes so. But he wants support to try to get the job. He's going to start catering to the media. That happens 9 out of 10 times. Why give Campbell credit at Miami? He went the other way. I mean, he made practices harder. Think about it. I mean, he kind of said, guys, it's not good enough, and I'm not going to make things easier so you like me. Whether you like me or not, this is the way we're going to do it. You have to give him credit for that.
Sure.
Now, from an X&O standpoint, going into that week, the Dolphins were at the bottom of the NFL for the number of opportunities to carry the ball. In other words, they ran the ball almost, I think they were 30th in the league. Last week, they had 32 carries between the receivers, the quarterback. Tannehill finally ran it a couple times. So my point is, all of a sudden, they start running the ball more. That goes back to Bill Parcells, who's kind of his mentor.
Pound.
The other thing that they did defensively, they didn't really change their scheme. But when you got good athletes like Wake and Sue, we always had the philosophy, hey, we want players that do things that we don't have to coach. That's when that was always
was Jimmy Johnson's thing.
That was a Jimmy Johnson thing. Hey, if we got to coach this guy, step here, step there, do this. You know what? The other guy that's more athletic and faster, he's going to make more plays. So I think what they did defensively, Colin, they just kind of turned the guys loose a little bit within the scheme. And the minute you hear that, everybody says undisciplined. No. We used to turn our guys loose at the Dolphins. Jason Taylor was on, we would call a go charge 90% of the time.
A go charge.
I mean, he was coming up the field, and he was going to make it happen as he saw it. And if Jason Taylor, as an example, sat back and he was playing Reed and all this stuff.
So basically, Campbell comes in, I make practices harder, we're going to run the football, we're going to slightly become more physical, and by the way, defensively, letting you loose, don't overthink the room.
And that's why they had success.